I'm still me. Don't wrap me up in cotton wool. Don't try and mollycoddle me. Treat me the same as you did before.
Welcome to Curious Chats and Kind Acts, the podcast that celebrates difference, kindness, and the little things we can all do to make our world a better place. Join me, your host, Sonia, co-founder of the Axe Charity, for some open, authentic and fun conversations with lots of interesting, extraordinary, everyday people who are all a little bit different. Prepare to have your curiosity piqued and your heart warmed as we explore the ways we can all make a difference in the world, no matter how small. So get ready to be inspired, uplifted and motivated to be the kindest version of yourself. Let's make the world a kinder place, one conversation at a time. How the devil are you today? Welcome to Curious Chats and Kind Acts. In this episode, I speak to Shirley. Shirley's done something pretty remarkable in her community. She started a cycling group to help people get on their bikes and get fit, and that included me. Oh, and she's done all this while surviving cancer twice. She's a pretty amazing person, and you'll hear this from just 1 second into our conversation. We talk about how she started a group, how it's changed people's lives, the absolute power of friendship, and why she doesn't want anyone treating her differently as a cancer survivor. Now, just before we crack on, we do talk about bereavement in this episode. I'm going to start off by asking Shirley to take us back to when she got her first diagnosis of cancer.
Well, 2008, that was my first diagnosis. Went for routine mammogram, first one ever, and it picked up the cancer. Get the recall. Half expected it because obviously my sister and my mother and my other sister had all had cancer. One had womb cancer, two had breast cancer. I always thought, well, it's 1 in 3. I'm going to be the lucky one. But no, I wasn't.
So that was 2008?
2008, full mastectomy, followed by chemotherapy, followed by radiotherapy, 10 months off work, lots of support, fantastic friends, work were brilliant. I didn't cycle then. I did a lot of walking. I was doing moonwalks, the marathons, raising money for breast cancer. So that was because of my sister and my mum. So 2 years, I think the cancer took away from my life, that I couldn't do what I used to do, didn't have the energy. Gradually started building it up. Did another half marathon for breast cancer. Wanted to do 26. Husband said no. He said, I'll agree to you doing a half one and see how you are. Got to the finish line and said, I could have done 26. I felt robbed. So I knew then, yeah, my fitness is okay. So started training for a 26-mile one, but broke my foot. It was just a compound fracture with training. So then because I couldn't walk, I decided I'm going to use my bike for work. I'm going to try cycling to work. Just see what it's like. So cycled to work one day and a lady in work said, didn't realise you rode a bike. Do you fancy going out for a ride at dinner time? So we went out for a ride at dinner time. Then it started becoming a regular thing where I left one bike in work and bought a new bike so I could leave one in work.
Yeah.
And a lot of dinner times we went out, and then a few other people started saying, can we come with you? So we started doing rides after work, and we soon got a group up. And then I found Breeze.
And what's Breeze?
Breeze is British cycling, ladies only rides to get ladies into cycling. Starter rides, medium rides, mountain biking, road biking. You look on the site, www.letsride, and see what type of ride is in your area. And if you want to sign up to it, you just sign up to it. There's always a leader. There's bike safety checks. They leave no one behind. So I found them as a group and started cycling with them. But they were only on the Wirral. And I kept saying, why is there none in Wales? And they said, because it's British cycling isn't in Wales. So I signed up to try and become a leader. But because there was no courses in Wales, I couldn't get the funding. So in the end, British Cycling kept emailing, asking me, would I be a leader? And I said, well, I keep saying yes, but you won't let me go on a course because I live in Wales. So they relented and said, right, you can go on a course, but it's in Liverpool. Fine. So I went on the course, but I could only put my rides on then from sort of on the Wirral. But then they set up in Wales and we got more leaders and we started doing the rides in Wales. And it's from there I made so many friends and covered so many miles until I get my second cancer diagnosis.
When was that?
March 2021. So previous to that, I'd organised cycling holidays to take ladies on holiday. You didn't have to be able to cycle miles. You didn't need a fancy bike. As long as you could keep the pedals turning. If you were slow and we got to the top of the hill, we wait for you. That's all it was. So, I got my diagnosis. But the breeze support from all the friends I'd made it a lot easier the second time because they were always there. No matter what time of day or night, they were at the end of the phone. They were sending silly messages. They were sending jokes. They were sending recipes. They were bringing food. They were bringing flowers. And not just them, British Cycling. They sent me quite a few bouquets of flowers because they said I'd introduced more people in Wales to cycling than any other leader. For my rides, we got 8 new leaders, just what I put through the training. And so there's a lot more rides go on in Wales now.
Because of you. So you say loads of people supported you. Like, what did that mean? How did that make you feel?
You could be sat there and you could be at home all alone and you just think, oh, I feel so shitty today. I haven't got the energy to get up and make a cup of tea. And all of a sudden your phone goes, wow. And you pick it up and it's one of the girls with a joke or something funny or do you fancy meeting for coffee? And suddenly you think, I'm not alone.
Yeah.
I'm not doing this on my own. I'm the one that's had treatment, but I'm not on my own because it's like they were all behind you, lifting you up.
Well, it sounds like you've got a really good network as well.
Oh, I have. I have. Family, friends, my work colleagues, absolutely brilliant.
Because sometimes, like, my friend's got breast cancer at the moment, and I don't know her really well. I've known her a long time. And I've sent a little message, but I don't actually know, don't really know what to do. I feel a bit like I want to be able to do something to help and say, I'm here for you.
Why?
I think some of that is a barrier in my head.
She's still the same person she was before.
Yeah.
I think, as I say, if you know anybody's going through it, just say to, not necessarily, oh, you look fantastic with no hair.
Yeah.
But, you don't need a wig. You're still you. It's things like that. And just calling and offering to mop the floor.
Yeah.
It's silly little things. Sticking a load of washing in the washing machine.
Yeah. And it's really hard because I actually sent this person who's got breast cancer a message saying, I'm just thinking of you. I sent it, I thought, sounds a bit stalkerish, that.
No.
So then I sent another message going, please don't think I'm being stalkerish. I just wanted to let you know I'm thinking of you. Yeah. And then I just got myself in a bit of a tiz, and it's like, it's got to be braver and bolder.
Well, to me, that had it, it's just like I've got the flu. I'm still me. Don't wrap me up in cotton wool. Don't try and mollycoddle me. Treat me the same as you did before. And all the ladies did. If they were going out, even though they knew I couldn't do the 50-mile ride, they still said, Shirley, do you fancy it? Or even if you only fancy 2 miles, we'll come to you. It's that. It's not wrapping you up in cotton wool. It's treating you the same.
I think that isn't treating you the same. That's above and beyond, isn't it? Because actually they planned.
Yeah, that side of it. But I mean, in one sense, they weren't treating me like I was disabled, because cancer is a disability. And I found that hard in work when I had to fill a form in. And it was inclusion and diversity. Are you disabled? And I don't see myself as disabled. But the cancer labels me as disabled.
No.
You can't function the same with cancer. You can't work the same. You haven't got the same energy levels.
And so having that label of being disabled, do you want that?
No, because I don't feel that. I never felt that I was disabled. I could still get out on my bike. Like, I could still go out shopping. I can still go out for meals. I can still drink a glass of gin. I'm not disabled. But there are things, yes, I am, because there are things I couldn't do before. Yeah. But I think it's accepting the label they want to tag you with that I find hard. So it's like now they've said to me, we've removed the cancer, but I've still got to have treatment for the next 10 years. I've still got to stay on meds. I've still got to go and have bone infusions every 6 months. Although they say the cancer's gone, you're never cured. You're always in remission, is what one of the oncologists said to me. Yeah, we say we've got it all, but there could always be a rogue cell that one day can just wake up.
Mm-hmm. And is there anybody that you'd have liked to have treated you differently?
No, can't say anybody treated me how I wouldn't want to be treated. I'd say the medical profession. Well, because of COVID, obviously you didn't get to see the doctors. 13 years ago, I saw doctors, I saw oncologists. This time, everything was done by the phone.
Okay.
So you're not getting as many medicals. So you do feel a little bit unsure if you've got a pain or something's not right, because you're not getting examined. You're just telling them how you feel.
Right.
But no, very lucky in that respect.
You got me into cycling, but not only that, I think you inspired me, first of all. I was like, I want a bit of this. You're having too much fun without me.
It is fun. It is fun.
But secondly, you were really kind in that when I was getting going and I'd been furloughed and I had time, and you're like, just use one of my bikes.
Yeah.
It inspired me, but also that blast of kindness you gave me encouraged me.
It's passing it on. I always think you should pass something on. If you've got something good, share it, pass it on. And to me, cycling and breeze is the best thing you can pass on to get ladies out cycling. It's not just the cycling. I took a mental health group out. It's to see them talking and mixing when some days they can't even get out the armchair and get out the door. Some of them find it hard if you stop at a cafe, because a lot of people haven't got the money to buy coffee and cake. And I always say to them, just put yourself a little bit of cake in your bag and bring a bottle of pop. You don't have to buy coffee and cake.
What do you need to do then to
put, if you wanted to put a ride on it from here, we could put it on as a breeze ride, and we just advertise it on the side as a beginner's ride. You just bring your bike, we walk up to the start of the cycle path here, and we just go along the cycle path.
Okay.
You're slow, you're steady, and you put that it's for novices.
Yeah.
And then what I used to do was increase my miles by 1 mile or 2 miles each week and build it up, and then take them on a little bit of road, which was a quiet road, and you just build it up.
And what happens if they haven't got a bike?
So if you can maybe get some bikes donated.
Yeah.
So if you had that, and if somebody wanted to come that didn't have a bike, and you could provide them with a bike and a helmet, helmets aren't compulsory. I prefer ladies to wear a helmet. I've seen people come off, and I've seen helmets after they've had a fall, and to think that could have been the head. So no.
What drives you to keep going?
It's just the fun, the socialisation, the getting out, the mixing, having a laugh, because we do have a laugh. Even when you get motorists that are abusive to you, you still find something to laugh at about them.
And you've got your sister in cycling, haven't you?
I've lost my sister. Don't go there.
Sorry. Oh, man. Sorry, Shirley. It's a cancer.
Yes.
Oh, I'm really sorry.
I did have my sister. My sister cycled everywhere. She was my back marker.
Yeah.
She was either my back marker or at my side. And when she bought the electric bike, she was the one when we went along the river and the wind was shit and you were pedalling and going backwards, she'd come past you ringing a bell and waving and laughing because she'd turned the motor on to full. We did threaten to get a tow rope and attach it so she could pull us all up along the river. But yeah. Now, and she got into cycling. She'd never cycled. June had a disability with her leg from when she was 16 to 60. And only at 60 did they agree to give her a new knee.
Wow.
So she had a new knee and I want some of what you've got. So we got her on an exercise bike in the house. Then I took her on a breeze ride to New Brighton. 3 mile beginner ride. And I went away. That was the Friday. And I went away that weekend. And she phoned me on the Saturday. She'd been to Halfords and bought a bike. Totally wrong bike. Far too heavy for her. Wrong gears. Everything. Needless to say, a week later, she sold that bike and bought a decent bike that suited her needs. But she started at 3 miles and she got up to 70 miles. We'd go out on a day for 70 miles. The surgeon couldn't believe it when she went back to see him. And she said, oh, yes, I often cycle 100 miles in a week.
You know. And what a connection to have with her.
Oh, yeah. I mean, some days she'd send me a message in work and it'd just be, guess where I am? And she'd be out on her own on the bike. And she'd never had confidence to do that before. She never had confidence to go on the roads. But because of Breeze and going out in the groups and learning how to ride on the road and how to behave, she did it.
And what a way to spend your day going out on a lovely bike ride on your own.
Yeah.
To have the confidence to do that.
Well, it was the confidence she got, and from the support of the women in Breeze that said, "Oh, come on, June, you can do it. You can go on the road." And then at first she was nervous, but then because she was with the group, she just felt like, "Well, they've got me. If I fall, they're going to pick me up.
If I get a flat tire, they'll fix it." That's always the biggest fear.
If I get a flat tire, Shirley will fix it. Yeah, yeah. But and we've always had her husband and my husband as a backup.
Right.
If anything happened to anybody, we could always phone them and they come in the car with the bike carrier.
Yeah.
If a bike was unfixable.
Yeah.
We always made sure when we went on our Breeze rides, we had that support.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to leave somebody stranded if their bike broke.
Yeah.
Not everyone's got the means. A lot of ladies that cycle with us are widows. They haven't got a husband at home that can come and pick them up. They live on their own.
Yeah.
So, just having that support as well.
It's brilliant. What's been your favourite person you've helped get into cycling?
I think it'd be Debbie Tong. She's a girl at work, never rode a bike. And she wanted to come on these group rides at work. And she kept saying, but I can't ride a bike. I'm like 40, how can I learn to ride a bike? I said, well, you can learn. So after work, when people had gone home, I used to get her on the bike and we used to cycle around the car park. Few pedals, fall, get back on, bit more, fall, get back on. And we gradually went round work. So that then at dinner time, it's right, come on, Debs, we're going out now on the Greenway. And it used to be there's a pipe over the Greenway, not far from work. Will I ever make that pipe? I said, you will. Every day we do a little bit more. And the pipe was 3 miles. And we made the pipe. And that pipe now is always called, even to all the ladies on the Breeze rides, it's Debbie's pipe. And she's messaged me yesterday and asked me, will I take her to New Brighton in a couple of weeks? You're talking 50 miles from somebody that couldn't even ride a bike. And she had, obviously I'd lent her a bike. And she couldn't afford a bike, she said. So my bike needed servicing that she'd been using. So she said, let me pay for the service because I'm the one that's using it. So we put it in and we had new chain, new cranks, new brakes, levers, everything. And it was £70. So she said, I'll pay the £70. And when she paid the £70, I said, well, that bike's now yours.
Oh.
I said, because I'll never use it. It's a bike. I've got 3 others at home. I'm never going to use it. I've had miles out of it. And she's still riding it now 4 years later. And she won't get another bike. I've tried to get her on a road bike.
Well, that is like such a lovely act of kindness. And you just don't even see it as that, do you? That's the issue with kindness. The people that are kind just don't even recognise it in yourself.
I just see it, something I no longer need, but somebody else can get a use out of it.
It's lovely.
So you have it and you use it. A 3-piece suite in my garden a couple of weeks ago that I didn't feel I could pass on to anyone because the seats had gone and the dogs had been on it. Wouldn't even offer it my own daughter. So, we'll phone the council and get them to collect it. And a man came in my garden and he said to me, you have furniture? And I was like, yeah, I've got furniture. No, in your garden, you have furniture. And I said, yeah. So I thought he was wanting to take it to skip for me and me pay him. And he said, I would like it. And it turns out he lives just a few doors down from me. He's not long been there. And they had no furniture. He's Portuguese. So my husband come home from work and I said, it'll need a good cleaning. It's been outside for 2 weeks in the rain. But he took it. And he come over the other night with a bottle of whiskey for the husband and a box of chocolates for me. But we were like, you didn't need to do that because he actually did us a favour.
Yeah.
He saved us £40.
Do you not think, though, Like, 'cause that again is just something you do. It's innate in you.
Yeah.
But isn't that a lovely way to live
I think so.
and does it give you a feeling when like the bike, the person was so grateful?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It made me feel good. It made me feel that bike's gone to a good home and that bike's still going to get ridden. That bike's not going to sit in a shed without its wheels turning.
And I think that's why I love kindness so much, because it's almost like, well, it's free to give.
It is free, costs nothing.
But equally, the person giving it gets.
And it usually comes back tenfold.
Do you think? Because you are just innately kind. It's like oozing out of you. And that's why I love you so much, because it's just who you are. And I don't know, is that a conscious choice you made, or have you always been like that?
No. I mean, my mum never expected anything from anyone. Neither did my dad. You just do the best that you can for people. And if you can help somebody, help them. It doesn't cost you anything.
No. And that's just been your attitude throughout life.
Yeah.
So if someone hadn't had that upbringing, how do you think, if you're wanting to learn to be kinder, what would you kind of recommend? Or
I just think once you learn how good it can be, how good you can make somebody else feel. Yeah. Somebody's £1 short for the shopping in Aldi. What is it to buy them? Here's £1. And I've done that. I bought a gift for a girl in work once. I saw something and I thought, Angela at work, I'd love that. Didn't know her that well. But I bought it to her and took it in work. She said, Shirley, what's this for? I said, it's a just because. Yeah. It's just because I saw it and it made me think of you. I said, so if you're ever out and you see something and it makes you think of somebody, buy it just because.
I love it. And that's a really simple way that you can encourage someone to start to be kind.
It doesn't have to be something big. It can be a seedling out your garden, a cutting, anything.
It's brilliant. I'm having that one.
So we're going
to have a Shirley's Just Because campaign. What's been the best act of kindness someone's done for you?
Just being there for me when I've had the cancer. Just silly things. It's not monetary. It's nothing like that. It's giving their time back.
Yeah.
And they don't see what they're doing. It's like you've said, they don't see they're being kind. They're just, well, I'm just a friend. It's what you do. And more people need to think like that.
Well, let's hope. Yeah. Let's hope, eh?
I think when June was ill, the win of the day was definitely having one of the other cycling ladies there at the end of the phone. 24 hours.
And were they just if you needed a chat or?
She was an ex-nurse.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you needed a chat, but if I needed her there at 3:00 in the morning to turn June, she'd have drove down.
Oh, wow. And do you know what? I love that, because you can't buy that. You can only get that because of who you are and who June was.
Well, I just think you reap what you sow.
Yeah.
And if you're good to your friends, they'll be good to you.
Yeah. Thank you for your honesty and your openness, because it's not.
No, it's not. It's a bit raw at the moment.
Yeah.
So,
but thank you.
I received a parcel one day through the post. I thought, what the heck? Not expecting anything. And when I opened it, it was a lovely silver bracelet with a bike on.
Oh.
And it just said, Shirley, keep them wheels turning when you can. And it was from my HR manager at work.
Wow.
Somebody I would not have expected to receive a present from. They phone you up and they say, how are you doing? A welfare call. Well, that was beyond her being a manager. That was her taking the time to think of what gift would suit me. So it's little things like that. And that tells you that person's been thinking about you because they picked a personal gift. It doesn't have to be expensive. But it's like now I've lost June and a husband. We were packing all the stuff up and there's all these cycling tops. And he was like, how many cycling tops does a woman need? These have got labels on. Shirley, you've got this same top. So he's given me the tops and they're now getting given out to the ladies that have cycled with us.
Yeah.
They're all picking an individual top to them. And they're not things you'd just give to a charity shop, because not all cyclists go to charity shops. But because she belonged to a group of all cyclists and they all know her and they've all seen her wearing most of the shirts.
Yeah.
So a few of them have already been up to the house and I've put them all out, had them all hung up and say, whatever you want. you take. So, yeah. And again, that's passing it on.
It's an act of kindness, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you for all your love and support. We know it meant the world to us.
Yes. So
then every time they wear that top, they'll think of June.
And as I say, I think that the kindness went on as well, because like June fostered over 250 children and adopted Ace.
Wow.
And then from her doing it, we got into fostering. And it just learned behaviour, I don't know.
And that's the thing, it's magical, but it's like, it's different for everybody, isn't it?
Yeah.
So by hopefully getting lots of stories, if all it does is give someone else an idea, the seedling doesn't cost anything.
No.
Take a seedling round to your neighbour.
Yeah, it's easy done. It's easy done.
Oh, thanks, Shirley.
Thanks so much for listening to this episode of Curious Chats and Kind Acts. It was lovely to have you. Can I just say a massive thank you to all the people that we've interviewed who have been so honest and vulnerable with me, so that we can have these real life stories to share with you, our wonderful listener. And remember, we'd love to hear what random or small acts of kindness you've been up to, so that we can maybe do a few. Find us on all the socials, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and all our /ActsGB, that's ACTSGB. And drop a comment on our feed, tweet us, or even send a photo. Let's build our kindness community together. We'll read some of our favourites on future episodes of Curious Chats and Kind Acts. And you never know, we might even have a go at a few of your ideas ourselves. Watch this space on the socials. For more information about the Acts charity, including how to donate to us, head to actsonline.uk. See you next time!